Welcome to Learn English podcast. Mark Zuckerberg's journey. Learn English through story. Mark Zuckerberg's journey. Learn English through story. Hello everyone. Whether you're just starting to learn English or you're looking to improve your speaking skills, you've come to the right place. Before we start this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel to get daily videos. And I don't want you to miss any of our lessons today. We have a very special story for you. It's about a boy who loved computers, a student who dropped out of university, and a young man who built one of the biggest companies in the world. Yes, we're talking about Mark Zuckerberg, the creator of Facebook. But this story is not only about technology or business. This is a story of curiosity, passion, courage, and big dreams. Mark started from a small town. He was just a normal boy like you and me. But he had one thing that changed everything. He wanted to build something that matters. He had ideas. He had passion, and most importantly, he never gave up. Maybe you are learning English right now. Maybe you feel tired or unsure about your future. This story will give you hope and motivation. You will see that great things can happen when you believe in yourself and keep learning. So get ready. We will take you step by step through the life of Mark Zuckerberg, from childhood to success, from problems to progress. You'll enjoy a powerful story and also improve your English in a fun way. Before we begin, please hit the like button if you enjoy stories like this. Leave a comment and tell us who your favorite entrepreneur is. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an inspiring lesson. Let's begin the journey. Let's learn English together with the story of Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, in a small city called White Plains in New York. He grew up in a nearby town named Dobbs Ferry with his mom, dad, and 3 sisters. His father was a dentist and his mother was a psychiatrist. From the outside, his family looked normal, but inside the house, something special was happening. Young Mark was different. As a child, Mark was curious. He always asked questions. He didn't just accept answers. He wanted to understand how things worked. He liked puzzles, brain games, and logic problems. When other kids were playing outside, Mark was busy with books or sitting in front of a computer. His father noticed his son's interest in computers. When Mark was just 10 years old, his dad brought home a computer. It was not a toy. It was a real, big computer. Mark didn't play video games on it. Instead, he opened it, studied it, and learned how to make it do what he wanted. At age 12, Mark created his first program. It was a simple messaging app called ZuckNet. His father used it in his dental office to talk to the receptionist. Mark's family also used it at home. It was like their own private chat system, way before WhatsApp or Facebook existed. Mark's parents supported him. They hired a computer tutor to teach him programming. But after a few lessons, the tutor said, "Mark already knows more than I can teach." Mark wasn't just smart. He was passionate. He didn't learn to impress people or get good grades. He learned because he loved it. He could spend hours programming without getting bored. By the time he was a teenager, it was clear this boy was not ordinary. He had a deep love for building things. He wanted to create, and he had a feeling that one day he would make something big. When Mark entered high school, he continued to grow as a young programmer. He went to Phillips Exeter Academy, a private school known for academic excellence. There, Mark was not only good in computer science, he also enjoyed subjects like Latin, literature, and math. But while other students were busy studying for tests, Mark was building things. He created small software programs just for fun. One of his early projects was a game he built for his friends. It was a strategy game, and he made it from scratch. Mark was also interested in artificial intelligence. He built a music player called Synapse. It was like a smart music assistant. It could learn what kind of music you liked, and then create a playlist for you. This was long before apps like Spotify. Synapse became popular, even though Mark made it just as a fun side project. Big companies like Microsoft and AOL saw it and wanted to buy it. They also wanted to hire Mark while he was still in high school, but Mark said no. He didn't want to sell his idea or work for someone else. He wanted to keep building on his own. He had big dreams, and he didn't want anything to stop him. Even though he was famous in the tech world as a teenager, Mark remained focused. He finished high school and applied to Harvard University, one of the most prestigious universities in the world. Getting into Harvard is not easy, but Mark got in, and everyone knew he was special. He didn't go there just to study. He went to learn, grow, and explore new ideas. At Harvard, Mark would soon have an idea that would change the world forever. Mark Zuckerberg joined Harvard University in 2002. He was only 18 years old, but people already knew about his talent in computers. He moved into a small dorm room and brought his computer with him, ready to build something new. At Harvard, Mark studied computer science and psychology. He was interested in how people think and behave, and how technology could connect them. But he didn't just go to classes. He spent a lot of time coding, building new projects and exploring ideas. Mark was quiet and focused. He didn't go to many parties. He loved to stay in his room and write code. But he wasn't alone. He made friends with other smart students, people who also liked building things. One of them was Eduardo Savarine, who would later help Mark build Facebook. One of Mark's early projects at Harvard was called Course Match. It helped students choose their classes based on what their friends were taking. It was simple, but students loved it. Then he built another project called FaceMash. It was a website where students could rate each other's pictures. Who was more attractive? The site went viral overnight. Thousands of people visited it. But FaceMash also caused problems. Some people said it was offensive. Harvard took the site down, and Mark got in trouble. But even in this failure, something important happened. Mark saw that people loved to connect online. He realized something powerful. People want to see each other's lives, pictures, and thoughts on the internet. This was the seed of an idea that would grow into Facebook. Mark now wanted to build something better, a place where students could create a profile, share who they were, and connect with others, not just for fun, but to build real social connections. So one night in his dorm room, he opened his laptop and started writing the first lines of code for a new project, a project that would soon go far beyond Harvard. It was a cold night in January 2004. While other students were sleeping, Mark was awake typing on his computer. He was building a new website. He called it the Facebook. Mark created the site with a simple idea. Let students make a profile with their name, photo, and some basic information. They could also add friends and see each other's profiles. On February 4th, 2004, the Facebook.com went live. At first, it was only for Harvard students. Mark sent messages to a few friends. Within hours, hundreds of students had joined. Everyone wanted to be part of it. The site grew fast. In just a few days, thousands of students were using it. People loved how easy it was to use. They liked seeing who their friends were connected to. It felt personal, fun, and powerful. Mark's friends helped him run the site. Eduardo Savarine handled business and money. Dustin Moskovitz helped with coding. Chris Hughes managed user feedback. Together they formed a small team, working day and night to grow the website. Soon students at other universities wanted it too. So Mark opened the Facebook to schools like Yale, Columbia, and Stanford. Within a few months, it was spreading like wildfire. It wasn't just a website, it was becoming a social movement. In the summer of 2004, Mark and his team moved to California. They rented a small house and turned it into an office. There they worked around the clock. Mark decided to take a break from Harvard to focus on the website full-time. Many people told him he was crazy. "You're leaving Harvard for a website," they said. But Mark believed in his idea. He knew this was more than just a college project. It was the start of something big, something global. Soon they got their first big investment, $500,000 from Peter Thiel, a successful entrepreneur. With this money they could grow faster, hire more people, and make the site better. By the end of 2004, the Facebook had more than 1 million users. People now called it simply Facebook. And it was just getting started. Mark had a big decision to make. Facebook was growing fast and more students were joining every day. He was still a student at Harvard, but the website needed his full attention. He couldn't do both, study and build a global company. So in 2004, Mark made a bold choice. He decided to drop out of Harvard. Many people were shocked. Harvard is one of the best universities in the world. Most students dream of going there, but Mark believed that Facebook had the power to change the world. He didn't want to miss the opportunity. He packed his bags and said goodbye to college life. He moved to Palo Alto, California with his team. They rented a small house where they lived and worked together. It was not fancy. There were wires, laptops, and whiteboards everywhere. They didn't care about comfort. They cared about their mission, to connect people. Mark worked almost all the time. He rarely slept. He believed that Facebook was not just a business. It was a social revolution. He wanted people from every corner of the world to connect, share, and understand each other better. He also had to make many business decisions. He started hiring more engineers and designers. Investors came with offers, but Mark was careful. He didn't want to lose control of his vision. He wanted Facebook to stay focused on people, not just profits. In 2005, Facebook dropped the and became just Facebook.com. They also bought the domain name for $200,000, a big step at the time. Facebook soon opened its doors to more schools, then to companies, and finally to everyone over the age of 13. The user base exploded. People from all over the world were signing up, not just students anymore. Mark was now the CEO of a fast-growing company, but he stayed simple. He wore the same grey t-shirt and hoodie almost every day. He didn't care about being famous. He cared about building the best product possible. Even though he had no college degree, Mark was now leading a company that was changing the world. After opening Facebook to the public, the platform grew faster than anyone had imagined. Every day more people joined. They shared photos, posted updates, and connected with friends and family. Facebook was becoming a part of people's daily life. By 2007, Facebook had over 50 million users. People were checking it before breakfast, during work, and late at night. Mark and his team kept adding new features: the news feed, photo tagging, the like button. Each small change made Facebook even more addictive. Mark had a clear vision: make the world more open and connected. Big companies like Google and Yahoo tried to buy Facebook. One offer was worth $1 billion. Mark said no. He wasn't building Facebook to sell it. He wanted to build something that lasted for generations. Facebook also became a tool for businesses and creators. Companies used it to reach customers. People used it to promote ideas, events, and causes. Facebook was more than social. It was becoming powerful. Of course, with power came challenges. As the platform grew, it faced problems. Some people misused it to spread false news or hate. Mark and his team had to work hard to make Facebook safe and fair. It was not easy, but Mark believed in solving problems, not running away from them. In 2012, something big happened. Facebook became a public company. This means people could now buy shares in the company. On the day of the IPO, initial public offering, Facebook was valued at over $100 billion. It was one of the biggest tech IPOs in history. Mark was now one of the youngest billionaires in the world, but he didn't let money change him. He still worked hard, stayed focused, and kept wearing his simple clothes. He said, "I don't want to waste time deciding what to wear every day. I want to focus on important things." Facebook continued to grow. It bought other popular apps like Instagram and WhatsApp, making it even more powerful. But through all the success, Mark stayed committed to his mission to help people connect, communicate, and share. As Facebook became bigger, problems also started. With millions and then billions of users, it was hard to control everything. Some people used Facebook to share fake news, hate speech, or even misinformation during elections. In 2016, the world saw a big issue. During the US presidential election, people used Facebook to spread false stories. These stories confused people and changed the way they thought. Many blamed Facebook for not stopping it. Mark had to speak in front of the US government. He sat in a big room and answered questions from serious-looking politicians. He was calm and respectful. He said, "We didn't do enough to stop misuse. That was a big mistake. I'm sorry, and I will fix it." He promised to make Facebook safer. He hired thousands of workers to check posts. He added tools to report fake news. He also changed Facebook's rules to stop dangerous content from spreading. But that wasn't the only challenge. In 2018, another big scandal happened. Cambridge Analytica. It was found that a political company had taken personal data from millions. of Facebook users without permission. People were angry. They felt that Facebook didn't protect their privacy. Mark accepted the mistake. He didn't run away. He said, "We are responsible for protecting your data. If we can't do that, we don't deserve your trust." It was a difficult time for Facebook and for Mark personally. Many people criticized him. News channels talked about it every day. But Mark kept working. He listened, learned, and promised to make the platform better. This showed something important about him. He doesn't give up during hard times. He faces problems and tries to fix them. Every company has problems. But the way Mark handled them made him grow, not just as a CEO, but also as a leader. Behind the scenes, Mark Zuckerberg also had a personal life full of love, family, and kindness. While he was studying at Harvard, he met a girl named Priscilla Chan. She was kind, smart, and studying to become a doctor. They met at a party and started talking. Over time, they fell in love. Even though Mark was busy with Facebook, he always made time for Priscilla. They supported each other through tough times. In 2012, they got married in a small private ceremony in their backyard. Mark and Priscilla are now parents. They have 2 daughters, and Mark often says that being a father changed the way he sees the world. He wants to build a better future, not just for his children, but for all children. That's why Mark and Priscilla started a special group called the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative CZI. This organization gives money and support to projects that help people. They focus on education, health, science, and equality. In 2015, when their first daughter was born, Mark and Priscilla made a powerful promise. They said they would give 99% of their Facebook shares to charity during their lifetime. This was worth tens of billions of dollars. They believe in using their success to make the world better. They fund schools, medical research, and programs that fight poverty. Mark once said, "We believe that all lives have equal value. That's why we want to help." Even though he is one of the richest people in the world, Mark lives a simple life. He doesn't have a big mansion or a fancy lifestyle. He drives a basic car, wears simple clothes, and spends time with his family. His life shows that success is not just about money. It's about using your power to help others. Mark wants to be remembered not just as the guy who built Facebook, but as someone who used his success to change the world for good. Mark Zuckerberg's story is not just about building Facebook. It's about a young boy who followed his passion, worked hard, and made a difference in the world. His journey teaches us many valuable lessons. First, Mark showed us the power of a big idea. He didn't wait for someone else to give him permission. He saw a problem. People were not well connected online, and he created a solution. He believed in his idea even when it was small and new. Second, he proved that you don't need to be perfect to succeed. He made mistakes, big ones, but he didn't hide from them. He admitted them, learned from them, and kept improving. That's how real leaders grow. Third, Mark taught us the value of staying focused. While others chased money and fame, Mark focused on his mission to connect people. He wore the same clothes every day just to avoid wasting time. He worked long hours, read books, and always looked for ways to grow. Fourth, Mark showed us that true success means giving back. Even though he became a billionaire, he didn't let money change who he was. He used his success to help others through charity, education, and technology. He believed that if you're lucky enough to succeed, you should help others too. Mark Zuckerberg is not perfect, he's human. But his story is inspiring. It reminds us that age, background, and status don't matter as much as your mindset, your work ethic, and your heart. So what can you take away from Mark's journey? Maybe you have a dream, a goal, a small idea that feels too big. Maybe you think, you're too young or not smart enough or not ready. But guess what? Mark was once just a quiet boy who liked computers. He started with nothing but curiosity and courage, and step by step, he changed the world. You can too. Your journey might be different. Maybe it's not about building a website. Maybe it's about teaching, designing, helping others, or creating art. Whatever it is, believe in yourself, stay focused, and don't give up when things get tough. The world needs dreamers. The world needs builders. The world needs people like you. Hey, if you enjoyed this story and learned something from Mark Zuckerberg's life, don't forget to leave a comment. Tell us what part of his journey inspired you most. What lesson will you take into your own life? Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want more motivational and simple English stories like this one. Your support helps us continue making content for English learners all over the world. Thank you for joining me in today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming lessons. Keep practicing, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next lesson.